What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of $10 Sports. We have a dog in the background, but it's not going to keep us from hitting that intro.
$10
Sports. I feel like she might be barking soon. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. We got Mike here on my right. How are you doing, Mike?
Hey Moose, what's going on, man?
Hey,
It's pre-Thursday night football eve, so pretty excited about the game tomorrow. Not gonna lie, glad football's back, and we have our team playing on a Thursday night.
Are you sure we're happy that our team's playing on a Thursday night? Usually does not go well for us. Last year we had a player immediately retire after getting run over by a Steelers tight end.
We're not excited about what the outcome's going to be, but we're just excited that we get to watch them in prime time on a nighttime game where it's Thursday night and we can actually watch probably the game from the beginning to the end, not any events or anything popping up that will distract us from the game.
No, you're right. This might be the only game I get to watch from beginning to end all year. Hopefully Red Zone picks it up with the Buccaneers coverage, given that they score a little bit more down the road. But $10 Sports today, we're going to jump right into it. Let's look at how we did last week. We're going to throw Mike's picks on there first. A couple peculiar picks that may not have worked out as he planned. Let's look at Mike's picks for last week, or those are his week 2 picks. Previous picks, there we go. I'm still working the board here. So Mike, your week 1 picks. You're looking good on Thursday. The Packers.
Thursday was great.
Pretty good Thursday with the Packers holding the Bears to 3 points, but after that, kind of went downhill a little bit.
Yeah, Chiefs. I mean, we all saw that happening. You and I both thought that was a gift from Vegas there. The Jets, they just got shut up, scoring 16 points. So when I first saw the Jets score, it was like 16-0. I was pretty excited. I was like, "Yep, I'm on my way to be $500 richer." One step, and then somehow the Bills came back in. The Jets blew that game. The Steelers game,
big X on the New York Jets, unfortunately.
And over here for the Steelers game, I'm not going to make an excuse. I was flat out wrong on that one. But I was excited about the Raiders.
No good.
I think I'm hopping the Raiders bandwagon early this year. So I'm going to keep rooting for the Raiders. I just like the way they played. I mean, they had the whole Antonio Brown drama. They let them loose, and they're playing. So I'm really like the way they recovered from that and just moved forward.
Yeah, no, the Raiders had a good game. We'll have to see what goes on this week. I think a little bit tougher of a test for them. Let's take a look at my picks. I didn't fare much better. Moose's previous picks, kind of a weird week for me. Of course, I think the Chiefs were a gimme, and really happy the Cowboys put pedal to the metal, took care of business with the Giants. Absolutely wrong, kind of like your Steelers. I was absolutely wrong on the Browds.
Yep,
Big
I told
X
you.
for the Browns.
I never jumped on that Browns bandwagon ever since all the signings. I still did not trust them. I just didn't like. Great talent, poor management does not equal success. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Too early to get on there. Still got to give them some time to become more cohesive. But kind of a weird situation for me. LA Rams lost by exactly 3 points, so that would have been a push. And
Oh yeah.
the Lions literally tied.
Yeah.
So I think that works out to a push as well in Vegas. So had I hit the Browns, I think I would have won a little bit less than the 200 or whatever that was going down. But at the end of the day,
Winning is winning.
a big X for both of us. So we're both down $10 to start the year. Let's look at week 2's picks. We'll look at the games overall. Of course, starting with the Bucks and Panthers tomorrow night. Panthers by 7 is the spread, with pretty heavy favorites, minus 330 just if you pick on the money line, over under of 49. I don't even know if this game merits analysis. I think we kind of know what the outcome's going to be. How much are the Bucks going to lose by?
The outcome is Christian McCaffrey. That's the outcome.
Yes, I'm really hoping for that as well for fantasy purposes. A little selfish, but uh, looking ahead to the next game on a Sunday, any no goes for you?
Yeah, I did have a couple no goes on that one. If you don't mind bringing the list back up on the screen, Moose.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me just see what we got here. Had some written down, but ah, my biggest no go was the Arizona. No, it was not the Arizona Cardinals. It was the Buffalo Bills and Giants game. I put that one as a no go. I really just not sold on the Buffalo Bills. I only made that comeback on the Jets, and also the Giants. I don't know what product they're going to put on the field. The Philadelphia and the Falcons game. You got two good teams playing against each other. Falcons did struggle against Minnesota, but if the Falcons are at home, they do play much better at home. So to me, that was a no go. And also the Browns and Jets, another no go for me. How about yourself?
No, it's funny. I think those the three games you pointed out were actually picks for me, so definitely not no goes for me. But let me take a look. One big no go for me was kind of Seattle and Pittsburgh because both had disappointing games last week.
Yeah.
Seattle almost blowing it against the Bengals. And again, the big question mark is you have the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, or one of the highest paid quarterbacks. But who's he throwing the ball to? It's supposed to be Lockett. I think he had 2 or 3 grabs. I think he did have one of the touchdowns. But at the end of the day,
DK Metcalf had about 4 catches, I think.
right, Metcalf is up there. So it's a little unexpected or unknown who's going to be catching the ball. I think they're going to be relying, hopefully, on a bigger season for Chris Carson. And I don't know. I just don't trust the Seahawks enough for me to even consider them. And then the Steelers absolutely dismantled by the New England Patriots. I mean, maybe it was kind of a week one, kind of a rough start, but that's a game I'm staying away from.
What about that Vikings Packers game?
I like the Vikings Packers game. I'm trying to remember. Did I pick? I don't know if I picked either of those. I like the Packers. I don't think I was confident enough to put them on my 5-team parlay this week, but I think I'd pick the Packers. Kind of a believer in that defense. Really, I mean, I know Mitchell Trubisky is not the greatest litmus test, if you will, for defenses, but impressive showing for week 1, at least against a Bears team that a lot of people were anointing to not only win the NFC North, but perhaps be representing in the Super Bowl on the NFC. I think I had one more no-go, and that was, for me, really didn't like the... Yep, I think I was also with the Buffalo Bills and Giants. It's just two not great teams. And I wanted to stay away from them. I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be the Bills taking that one. But
yeah, I can see that too.
You never know what version of the Bills shows up, or maybe Eli Manning has one of his vintage performances. So let's move into our
Saquon goes into beast mode.
Yeah, exactly. Has a 200-yard, 3-touchdown day. That's also possible as well. Let's get right into those picks. Let's look at your picks for week 2. Walk us through these.
I took the Dolphins plus 19.5 against the Patriots. I know the Patriots destroyed the Steelers and the Dolphins got destroyed by the Ravens. But the last 2 seasons, the Dolphins did beat the Patriots at home. And for some reason, I think Tom Brady struggles when he goes to Miami. I think he doesn't handle the heat or the humidity very well. So I think that is a game that the Patriots will win, absolutely, but it's going to be a little bit closer than we expect, maybe around 14 to 17-point win. So that's why I'm taking the Dolphins there plus 19.5.
Okay.
I also taking the Cardinals plus 13, even though the Ravens slaughtered the Dolphins. I don't think it's going to be the same thing when it comes to the Cardinals. The Cardinals showed that they were able to click it back together in the second half of that game. I think Kyler Murray picks up from there. I think it's a game the Cardinals do not win, but I think it's going to be a little bit closer than expected. I'm still not sold on that Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson. So I'm going to go ahead and trust my gut and give that to the Cardinals for another week.
It's a 5 touchdown performance though. That wasn't enough for you.
It was it was against the Dolphins. I mean, Mr. Trubisky had a 6 touchdown performance against the Bucks last year.
Yeah. All right. Fair
Raiders,
enough.
I'm on the Raiders bandwagon at +7.5. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the Raiders on this one. I think that they can keep it close against Kansas City. Kansas City does have the firepower, but I did like what I saw in that Raiders offense, and I think it's going to be. And the Kansas City does not have a great defense at all. So if Gardner Minshew was able to have a great game against Kansas City the way he did, I think Derek Carr is a little bit more talented, more experienced. Keep that game there closer, and perhaps potentially that might be even my upset of the week right there. Chargers -3. Um, I Chargers played well behind Austin Eckler. I like the way they looked, so I'm going to go ahead and keep rolling with them. A lot of people, Chargers are probably one of the most underrated teams in my opinion. Philip Rivers always plays well, and
They
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 tend to
never
always
get
have
any love. Never get any love. I
never.
mean, they are talking about potential Super Bowl run, but I don't know. It's always kind of back burner for everyone.
And the next pick here I have on the board is the 49ers against the Bengals. I don't know what happened there against the Bengals. I thought the Bengals would get slaughtered. Every time I think of the Bengals, I don't think of. I mean, I think of Andy Dalton. I can't name a defender off the top of my head. John Ross, Tyler Boyd, the only 2 players I can name. I mean, Joe Mixon's not going to be playing this weekend, I believe. So, I mean, I think the 49ers have an upper hand there. So I'm rolling with the 49ers there. I think the spread was only like 1 or 2 points as
Taking
well.
the
So,
taking the money line straight up for the
yep.
49ers.
So I'll be taking the money line there on the 49ers. And then the Saints. Saints were the underdogs in this game. Huge surprise to me. The way the season ended last year against the Rams, I think that the Saints have a lot of vengeance coming into this game. And this is going to be one game where they don't let off the gas at all. It's going to be full-blown throttle with them. So I'm taking them on the money line. Did not expect, very shocked when I saw the Saints as the underdogs. So I'm going to go ahead and take them on the money line. This will be a game where I think the Saints win by at least a touchdown or two.
Great. Yeah, I'm kind of on board with the Saints pick. I think and we'll look at my picks. I think I ended up going with the Rams just since they have the home field advantage. And they looked pretty decent against Carolina, but again, that's a defense that, are they going to be good? Are they not going to be good? I think time will tell if the Panthers this year on defense. Let's hop over for Moose's Week 2 picks. Kept a couple of the same teams on there. Working on some confidence with the Rams. I'm liking them to win on the money line. We talked a little bit about that. Saints coming off pretty exciting win over the Texans. Now going on the road over to California. We'll see how it goes. Big matchup of the NFC Championship game. I think the Rams still end up on top. I think for kind of my upset pick of the week, I wanted to go with Colts +3. Who are they playing again? Let me look up their odds. I almost forgot. Oh, yes, Colts and Titans. Titans are our favorite at home. Really liked what I saw from the Colts last week against the Chargers. I mean, they kept it close and were really pushing them at the end. Got them into OT. I think Jacoby Brissett's only going to get better as the season goes on. So I'm liking the Colts +3 over the Titans.
The Titans beat your Browns by like 20 points.
They did. And as you see right next to the Colts, I am still on the Browns bandwagon. I believe in the Browns. They brought the spread down only to 3. Kind of a big Monday night game against the Jets, who blew it, absolutely blew it against the Bills. So I'm hoping for a bounce back game from the Browns. Everyone getting on the same page and taking the show on the road and beating the Jets in New York. I like the Eagles, and I was really thinking this is a little bit of a gift from Vegas. Eagles -2. I like the way they played last week. We were a little concerned at the first half of the game. They had a pretty big spread to cover against the Redskins, but at the end of the day, they got the job done. They actually covered the spread, and I think the Falcons are terrible. I know you gave them a little bit of credit. Maybe they do play better at home, but I think the Eagles are primed to really give the Cowboys a run for their money in the East and if Carson Wentz manages to stay healthy, I really think they could make a deep run into the playoffs later this year. So I'm liking Eagles -2 at Atlanta. And of course, keeping it here in Texas, Cowboys Redskins. I'm a little bit surprised too that it's only less than a touchdown for the Cowboys. So I took the points with the Cowboys. So again, our my little $10 parlay, paying $233 off of the $10, and then yours, man, you went really big. You have a couple underdogs in there. Your $10 would yield you $605.
Yeah. So
We got a couple.
see what happens.
Well, we will see what happens. I got a couple college picks for us this week. Last week, definitely some interesting. Week 1 and week 0 are always really interesting for college football. Not really worth picking. But we've got a couple college picks looking at the schedule. A little bare, not really too many top matchups. The Iowa State game's always interesting. I took Iowa, who's ranked at with -3, which actually is paying a little bit more than even money. Surprisingly, gonna take UCF. Gonna take Virginia. UCF's actually really interesting because they're playing Stanford. Very rare that a team actually travels across country to play another ranked team. That's bizarre, especially beginning of the year. Stanford's unranked. They were ranked to start the season, but traveling over to Orlando to play the Knights.
Wow.
Taking UCF on the money line. USC is playing BYU, I believe. Even with their starting quarterback out for the year, they looked pretty good last week. BYU did take it to Tennessee and did beat them, but I'm still liking USC. I believe they're at home, so I'll take them even with the spread. Virginia looking good against Florida State, I'm going to say. I think Florida State drafts at 3-0 this week, or 0-3 this week, which I'm not sure if their infatuation with Willie Taggart's gonna be done mid-season this year. Take Virginia on the money line over Florida State, and I think the big surprise this year so far is how Maryland has been just kicking everyone's ass so far. Really taking it to Syracuse last week. I think winning by over 35 points over a ranked Syracuse team, and they had a strong week 1 as well. So I'm confident taking Maryland against Temple. Maryland with the points -6.5. So went a little conservative, of course, picking a few of the favorites. So I stepped it up to $20, and that $20 bet would yield 206. So we'll see how that works out for me as well. Hopefully, you've been watching the ticker. If we've combined our picks up there as well with a few of the odds. I like my over and unders, so make sure you're watching the ticker for over and unders. And I'll have a over-under review for week 3. I wanted to collect a little bit more data before I did formal over and unders for the NFL.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so we'll do some over-under fun picks starting next week. Anything else, Mike?
No, I think that's it. Hopefully on next week I can tell you guys that $600 richer.
That'd be great. You can buy us. You can throw some bones this way as well. That'd be nice.
Maybe get a new fedora,
right,
or maybe
that's
get
right.
a new one.
Oh gosh, you know what? If you hit your parlay, I will buy myself a fedora and I will wear it during every show for the rest of the year. If you hit your parlay this week, so we got that to look forward to. Buccaneers game tomorrow. We'll tweet out our plans of what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna shoot for a live episode, perhaps a fourth quarter reaction show. Kind of on our laptops. I think Mike's going to be able to hopefully find a little space in his full house situation he's got going on. But we'll do live reaction either during the fourth quarter, probably drowning our sorrows in some beer, or right after the game we'll get on and record our reaction.
Unless it's a strong defensive game and we fall asleep halftime. So
that also could happen. I was so excited for Thursday Night Football last week, and I literally went to bed like 1 minute into the third quarter when it was like 7-3. I'm like, I'm not that excited to watch football anymore. So that is it for us, everybody. Thank you so much. Give us a like and a subscribe on YouTube. You can always follow us on Twitter as well at $10 Sports, the digits $10 Sports for me. Mike's at Balls Brews Bros, at Balls Brews Bros. And if you're following me, make sure I'm usually always promoting Mike, so make sure to give him a follow on Twitter as well. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for a live version of the Bucking Hangover.
Good night.